Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Twin Mirror, a narrative game by Dontnod Entertainment, which, just with that sentence, basically covers everything that I know about it. Dontnod is a creator of, I think, primarily at this point, narrative games, and ones that I tend to enjoy a great deal. However, I don't know anything about this game. It was a smaller project, I believe. It was released with a lot less fanfare a year or two ago, and what we're going to be doing here is playing through the entirety of the adventure pre-recorded, and the goal there is I very much enjoy doing live streams with our audience where we get to talk in real time and chat either about what's happening in the game or, you know, movies, television shows, other topics that might come up. But with a narrative game like this, where there's so much emphasis on dialogue and the flow of the story, it just feels very difficult to try to maintain a rapport with chat while also keeping the game moving. There's just many fewer opportunities to speak because generally, if the characters are speaking, I'm not. So I figured this is the best opportunity for us to be able to enjoy the story together and hopefully release it at some future point when I am unable to stream for any number of other reasons. Maybe I have to go on a trip, maybe I get sick, injured, something else, and this is sort of prepping up in advance to say thank you to all of our subscribers, all of our chatters, all of our lurkers, anyone who stops by and contributes to the channel in any way. Just hanging out can make such a big difference, and in the event that I cannot be here, we want to be able to put up some sort of new content that we'll still be able to go through the story together, even if we're not doing it right at the exact same moment. So with that quick intro out of the way, we're going to hit new game and jump into the wonderful world of Twin Mirror, which I will almost certainly at some point call Twin Mirrors.
The skies are finally clearing up after a light rainfall most of the afternoon. The weather's approaching 49 degrees, so we've got a brisk West Virginia evening ahead of us. Wrap up tight and settle in, folks. This is 104.3 WVCK, the Basswood Sound. I'm your host, Carrie Hammond. Coming up after a short break, mental health expert Dr. Will we'll discuss the recent opioid epidemic that's been affecting.
Oh, okay. On this note, there was no option in the sound settings to mute any sort of licensed music. I would not turn that on even if we had access to it, because I feel like having the music running in the background, even if I occasionally feel the need to speak over it, it's so important for the tone and the flow of a scene. So I will just share, if at any point part of our VOD gets muted by a musical selection in the game, we will do whatever we can to work around that, to put something in the show notes about anything that might have gotten muted out, or to otherwise mitigate it to the best of our ability. So I'll just say that as we get some musical scores here.
Keep coming alive.
As tends to come up in games like this, any opportunity that I have to listen to the music and the dialogue is one that I'd like to take, but regrettably sometimes the streaming platforms that we go to, or the video platforms, they feel differently, as do the license holders of the music. So we're not always able to sit and let a scene breathe in the way that we would like. I don't know if
Time to kill before the funeral. Might as well spend it here.
Just saying, I don't know if this man has some sort of internal monologue. And I don't want to get hit by a car. Yeah, they might come around real quick here. Can I examine my own car? Oh, and also, what do we think this guy's name is? Hold on a second. We saw him in the car. I'm gonna go with Justin. This guy looks like a Justin to me. Okay. Non-denominational car. No make or model. Oh, right, West Virginia. Yeah, they said that on the radio.
This
And
place was always one for decisions. Somewhere for things to fall apart.
I associate Dontnod games with the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and that's where I would have thought this was if not for the fact that we're in West Virginia.
Welcome back to Basswood, Sam.
Basswood State Forest, restoration made possible thanks to the generous donations of the New Virginia Coal Incorporated. I'll say this, the lighting here looks great, I think.
I came up here every chance I could. One of the all-time great views. Really makes a small town look big.
That is a good looking view. Read. Oh, hold on. No, I want to read it on the thing if we can. Founded in 1865, this small mining town quickly grew along with the coal industry. At its peak, Basswood produced more coal than any other town in West Virginia, with the Basswood Mine being one of the most consistent coal mines in the U.S., with ruined underlined. Then we've got closed and sucks. Basswood is also a wonderful place to simply let nature be nature outside of the Appalachian Trail, with its hundreds of miles of hiking trails. A perfect example of the true West Virginian way of life, Basswood is both a reminder of its past and a glimpse into its bright future. Let's look at some of these.
I remember spending entire summers on the banks, fishing with Nick.
My hometown. It felt more imposing in my nightmares. Strange to think of Basswood without its mine.
Oh wait, the mine is up there? Okay, well the river, it's downriver, because otherwise I don't know what potential waste is coming out of the mine, but probably nothing good for the town.
I'm not sure Nick would even want me at his funeral, given how I left things.
Okay, Nick. That's the first person's name that we've heard. Nick died. Okay. So that was the person in the newspaper article that we saw, I assume. Yeah, because he was from the Basswood jungle.
You'd think the massive cliff face would be a giveaway.
All right, Nick. Still soaked by rain, unused for some time.
Kids hung out here all the time. Not that I was ever invited. Or wanted to go.
Directly connected to the emergency line.
I get the feeling it still sees some use, given how bad the coverage is up here.
I gotta say, I like this interface style. It's not quite projected into the environment like a Tom Clancy game or whatever, but it does a good job of drawing your attention to something that you can interact with. West Virginia's scenic mountain forests are home to deer, flying squirrels, red foxes, field mice, rabbits, and cave bats, among other animals. Bobcats, wild boars, and even black bears have been seen all over the state. Even very remote farmsteads have occasionally sighted the eastern cougar, Puma concolor, on the prowl. If I mispronounce things, particularly in Latin, please forgive me. It's evidence of my low intellect and poor education, not a lack of interest in doing it correctly. Hunting rules. When hunting, carry with you any and all required permits and licenses. Do not hunt while under the influence of alcohol. Hunting is forbidden between half an hour after sunset and half an hour before sunrise.
Hunting is another tradition I could never get behind. Just don't see the appeal.
I'm getting a lot of sense of what Justin doesn't like so far.
Some of these species are endangered. She wrote an article about it. These trails were great to walk if you wanted to feel truly alone.
So his interests so far include fishing and hiking and being alone, which is fine. His disinterests include other people, the town. I'm trying to think of what else.
I left a sandwich in
Hunting.
it for a whole week once. Dad never let me forget it.
Oh, we don't get to read this. You're in bear country. Foods and odors attract bears. These items may not be left outside or in tents at any time, day or night, unless they are in immediate use. And then it gives several examples. Help keep humans and wildlife safe by not feeding the bears intentionally or unintentionally. You can make a difference in a bear's life. And I really like that framing, actually. Hold on. Trail closed 3 years ago due to landslide.
A lot of people were upset when it closed, but not upset enough to fix it.
Here's something that I don't know if people aren't aware of or they are disinterested. Oh, patch of moss. Hold on. Wait, clean? Is that... I don't know if I want to do that, though. Is that... I'll tell you what, if it's a bad idea, the game will tell me.
There seems to be something here. Lovers scarring a tree to write down their initials. Always seems twisted to me.
A plus S, was it? Or is that M plus S? A plus S, okay. When you mess around with wildlife like bears or whatever, yeah, I mean, the bear might get you, but humans will definitely get the bear. It is the bear that pays the price. You feed the bear starts wandering into human territory.
I used to love looking at basswood from up here. Helped give me perspective. Until that day.
And sorry, just real quick, by human territory, by like the hiking trails and so forth, then people feel threatened by the bear. If the bear is very, very lucky, the local authorities may opt to tranquilize the bear and move it to another area, which is itself dangerous. But otherwise, they may simply just kill the bear. And the secret to not having that happen is don't feed the wild animals. Don't leave food out. Don't, let them be and give them the space that they need to be. Okay, we've got... Oh, that's got a different symbol to it. We're gonna mentor that. And yet it's the only thing to do. Okay.
Why can't the real world be as clear and peaceful as my own mind? Even if it does mean nothing stays hidden in here. Not even me.
Alright, let's take a quick look around his mindscape. New Virginia coal under investigation. Yeah, he made reference to the mine being closed. Damaged track led to derailing. Basswood rail accident. It's safe to assume that the rail would be associated with the mine, because they need to move all that coal somehow. Optimal shot angles. Oh, I like the sound of his footsteps. That's a nice touch. Arcade cabinet. That looks like Pac-Man, doesn't it? Like, sorry, I need to move on. It's just, that looks like the old art on the side of Pac-Man cabinets. And yes, I am old enough to have seen those with my own eyes. Okay, there's nothing else down here. So, I'm trying the triggers to see if there's any option. Oh, I also wanted to say, yeah, there's something like on his chest. He's, the mental giant here. That's his superhero identity. Oh, yeah, look, it's Pac-Man. I'm gonna remember Pac-Man.
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
And yet I stopped taking his calls. He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
Okay, if we remember, is it just the same thing?
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
And yet I stopped taking his calls.
Oh, yeah.
He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
Okay, no need to remember things twice.
This is Anna. She works freelance. Does a lot of the human interest pieces.
What can I say? I'm interested in humans and their pieces. What do you like to write?
I gotta run to a review with Walt. You two feel free to chit-chat. And Sam, be nice.
I had never met someone so interested in others, even in me.
The story is important. You know I think that. It's just... people around here have short tempers and long memories. Be careful. Sam, are you even listening to me?
I heard you, Anna. But no, I wasn't listening.
Okay, so we've got Nick, Anna, and they both reference Sam. So I think it's safe to say that these are his memories and he is Sam. I was leaving open the possibility that maybe they were talking to somebody else nearby and that this dude was just like remembering things that had been said in his presence, but that seems less and less likely as we've gone. Okay, I see the spyglass. I just wanted to see if there was anything else. Let's remember the spyglass. Sam.
Come on, Anna, look at this.
What is it? Someone skinny dipping?
Anna, you really need to see this.
I can't even see. Something's blocking it. Sam, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be romantic.
What? Wait. Please don't tell me you're proposing.
Oh no.
I'm down on one knee, a ring. What else would I be doing? You look like I just ran over your grandma. Okay, the silence is really starting to scare me now.
Who is
Anna,
it?
please say something.
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring. You should know that. We've discussed it before.
We weren't happy. She was the one brave enough to face that. Lost in my head again. How much time did I miss?
I actually set down the control and curled up a little bit. that was nightmarish. I decided to take a walk on the promontory before Nick's funeral. I thought I wasn't ready to face Basswood again, but the past is already pulling me back in. My memories are so vivid, it's as if I never left. So we've taken the walk, remembered that night at the spyglass, and then returned to the car. You've wasted enough time. Okay. Oh, hold on. Yes, we've got a matrix of people. Let's read about Sam. I left Basswood 2 years ago to run away from a job at a small-town newspaper, a town full of angry people, and a failed relationship. I didn't glance back. Now I'm going home to attend my best friend's funeral. What could be more fun than facing all your past mistakes at your friend's graveside, right? Nick appears to be the person who's passed away. Nick has been my friend since we were kids. My only friend. I ghosted him 2 years ago when I left Basswood, and now he's ghosted me by being dead. Oh, okay. That's how we feel about it. It's impolite of him to be dead? Oh, and we don't have any mementos of him. Anna, the one that got away. Would my whole life be different if she had said yes? Seeing her again, that's going to be hard. Yet part of me is looking forward to it. The rest of me wants to turn around and leave now. Okay, well... And in my head, unfortunately, now he's Justin, so that might take a second. Sam, you need to...
I missed the funeral. Maybe it's for the best. On the bright side, Nick's not alive for me to let him down again.
Huh. Sam's got some interesting takes.
Sorry, Walter, but I don't think I'll stick around. Given up already? Just a quick, depressing jaunt down memory lane and then you're gone? I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. Lots of hurt. And you might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
Walter asks, are you still coming? I really hope you can make the wake. It'll be at the Haven. I'm gonna go with I'm almost there. I like it a lot better. Got stuck in traffic almost there. Well, that's not...
Lost the signal. Some things never change.
It's just, it would have been sufficient to say, yeah, I'm on my way, rather than making up an extremely unlikely lie that in this small town he got stuck in traffic. I really do like the lighting and like the art design in this so far. Nick's daughter can't imagine what she's going through. Okay, Joan or Bug.
Yuli, you actually came.
It's been a while. You've gotten taller.
Can we talk?
We're talking right now.
It's cold.
So...
You left.
Joan, that's not fair.
You left.
It was more complicated than just me and you.
It's always more important than me.
Joan, listen.
After Anna and I broke up, I couldn't keep living with her. I didn't have anywhere else to stay. So I moved back in with my mom, who's over in Connecticut these days.
You didn't call, text, or anything. You were just gone.
I don't know what to say to that. You're right. I wasn't in a state where I could reach out to anyone. I'm still not. If Nick hadn't died, I never would have come back.
Thanks for being honest. You're always at least honest. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about what happened to Dad. It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't have just crashed. He drove like a grandma, you know that. It's wrong. I don't buy it.
I'm just in town for the funeral, Joan. I'm not a PI or a cop.
You're the closest thing I can talk to. Will you just look into it, Muley? Please?
She wants her father's death to mean something. But where does that lead?
What if it leads to the truth? That could change everything.
An hour ago, you wanted to run away. Now you want to start another investigation?
A few questions won't hurt anyone. Just tonight. To reassure her. And myself.
This is a wake. If you poke around, people may end up poking back. Okay, whatever you do, at least leave the kid out of it. It would be cruel to lead her on.
Friends don't lie to each other.
Even if it means disappointing her again. It's your call.
Okay. So Joan said, thank you for being honest. At least you're always honest. I don't know the nature of this mind ghost in the back seat, but he's saying don't do it, and I'm saying, like as Sam, that he wants to do it, and it sounds like actually the debate is, yeah, because look, it's even worded this way, keep her out of it. No, we're going to, her dad died. For better or worse, she thinks that there's something more to it. I feel like we're going to agree to help. And if people in town, what did the guy say? If you start poking around, people might poke back. Well, from what I've picked up so far, this guy doesn't have any real love for anybody in town anyway, so fuck him. We're gonna promise to look into it.
Okay. I'll see what I can see and all that. Gumshoe it up.
You will?
You make some good points. It doesn't fit. I hate when things don't fit.
Yeah, me too. I might just be, I don't know, crazy or something, but...
You want to know for sure. I get it.
Thanks, Muley. I should go in before my mom misses me. You better get in there, too. Can't hide in your car all night.
Who says I'm hiding out here?
I do. See you inside.
What is she calling him, by the way? Mealy? They showed those pills during the drive up as well. I don't know anything about prescription drugs. This could be for any number of things. Anxiety, antipsychotics. It could be to treat a thyroid condition. Like, in a piece of fiction like this, like, oh, he's taking medication to control something, but it could be completely innocuous. Her car is older than her daughter.
Seems Kathy's been keeping this running 100,000 miles past its prime. I hope she's not running short on money.
Oh, do we think that Kathy is Joan's mother then? This is me using conservation of characters, that we just met Joan. She appears to be pretty young. Okay. Oh, we do have a hurry button now. Yeah, right trigger. It's not exactly a run, but it does get us around a little bit more quickly. Basswood police car. The force has seen better days.
Some of the police force stopped by, which means most of the police force stopped by.
The bar has changed its logo, but never changed its name.
The old bar sign. Reminds me of when Nick and I were still kids.
Coal Miners Haven, alright.
Ethan keeps a spare key around, but I should use the front.
Coming through the back will get me looks. Again, I feel like the looks are already there. This guy, Sam, gives off a lot of unpopular vibes. Everyone knows Nick and I were best friends. Everyone thinks I owe it to him to be here. His daughter Joan goes even further. She thinks I should stay here and investigate her father's death. Our old boss Walter is sure to have something to say too. I won't be able to sneak past him. Oh, Walter's the dude who came outside. Okay. And then, yeah, updates for everyone. Let's start with Anna. Bittersweet to see your own name carved into a tree. Oh, A+S. It was her idea to carve your initials into a tree. Wait, why did he have no recognition of it then? He's like, this always seems so antiquated. I didn't realize that was his initials, Anna and Sam. That was before, well, you know the rest. You came up here one night with her by your side. It was late and you were about to head back when Anna said she wanted to show you something. She had scratched your initials into the tree, then drew a heart around them. What are you, 12, you scoffed? Jeez. Again, Sam has some interesting takes. She took your hand and made you retrace the grooves in the wood with your fingers. When you're 12, she said, and you're in love for the first time, it's what you'll compare the rest of your life to forever. You laughed, and then she kissed you, and you drove home and never thought about that tree again until now. Sam! Okay. Oh, okay, wow, we're stacking up the mementos. This old logo dates back from when you and Nick were kids. You met him in this bar for the first time. Arcade games were the first friends you had, and Nick Walden was your first real friend. I'm somewhere in between, of course. Wait, who's... Oh, you know what? This must be Glasses. The mystery man who he sees, like, in his imagination in the corner of his eye. Yeah, because he's addressing Sam and talking about Nick. It all started here at the Coal Miners Haven. The bar had an old arcade machine the owner, Mr. Edwards, rescued from some junk heap. You'd spend the whole afternoon there playing Pac-Man until it got dark outside and the bar filled up with miners craving a cheap drink, and Mr. Edwards eventually kicked you out. You'd beg him to let you stay and play some more, but he thought it was already nice of him to let you in at all. He'd even leave the machine on free play most days. He was a tough guy, an amateur boxer, not big on drunks or underage kids arguing with him when it was time to go home. One day there was another boy playing Pac-Man at the bar. You watched him play, hoping he'd leave soon. Suddenly he turned to you and said, "My cousin swears there's a magic pill that makes the ghost stay blue forever, but it only appears on the 100th board at the center where the fruit's at." "Does your cousin talk a lot of bullshit?" you asked. The boy scratched his head like he seriously thought about the answer, and finally said, "Yeah, all the time," and you both bust out laughing. First, you played together for the rest of the afternoon. Nick beat your highest score, and then you beat his. It got late, and you both got kicked out. That was when Nick invited you over to his place. The next day, Nick waited for you at the school gate. He walked you to the Miller's Haven like he wanted to make sure you wouldn't run away. You didn't. Not then. And Sam... Same town, same doubts and contradictions. Face it or escape it. This time I made a different decision. The temptation to embark on another doomed investigation leading to nothing but pain was too strong to resist. Am I doing this for Joan, for Nick, or for myself? Why not all three, says me. And then finally, Joan. Of all the people I hurt when I left Basswood, Joan is the one who least deserved it. She was just a kid, and my goddaughter. But it's a tough job to be a lonely kid's only friend. I couldn't hack it. Now that her dad died, things aren't going to get any easier for her. Angry, hurt, stubborn. Hard to believe Joan was the one who nicknamed me Muley. Oh! That must be what she's calling him, except she pronounces it differently. Not that I'm looking for an excuse. I made a promise to a child that will break her heart whether I keep it or not. What if she's right about her father's death? What will that do to her? And what if I can't give her the answer she's hoping for? Then, not to like linger here for too long, but then you're giving her closure. You're giving her what she wants, which is the truth. I promised Joan I'd ask some questions about her father's death. I'm 83% done. Or 83% towards doing that? I don't know. Okay, let's just go check out the other cars.
Might as well talk to Walter. I'll have to, sooner or later.
So what happens if we just try to leave? Like, obviously we can't, but...
A little late to turn back. I might as well see it through.
Okay. Always interesting if the game is going to opt for like an invisible wall or some line of dialogue. Sometimes they can be a little revealing. Other times it's just, no, not that way.
Same old town, same old bar. The more things change.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to check for a grape here. Nope.
Yes, the cat food is under the sink. Yes, it is, Mother. Trust me. Oh, Samuel is here. I'll call you back. Samuel Higgs, as I live and breathe. Has it really been over 2 years? Regardless, I'm so glad you finally made it. It's good to see you. What kept you?
A trip down memory lane. I missed the funeral, but I made it to Nick's wake.
You have to bring it in for a hug. It's a Basswood back in town requirement. So good to see you, even if I wish the circumstances were different. In times like these, we need the comforting touch of others. At least I do.
Hey, bring it up. Bring it in, buddy. There you go. Hug, hug, hug.
Also, have you spoken to Anna lately?
No, why?
No reason. If you get the chance, we should catch up. We should really catch up. I'll see you inside.
Oh shit, Anna got married. Although, wait. If Anna got married and that was Walter didn't take that opportunity to say that, well, I was about to say, what, does he really owe that information to Sam? But yeah, unless, sorry, I'm trying to work out way too much. Does Walter know about he and Anna? It seems like a small town. Word would have gotten around. Seems like they're close. Local legend honored today.
I haven't read an issue of this paper since I left. I wonder how they've been doing without me.
Earlier this week, our dear colleague Nicholas Waldron. Oh, right. Okay, so, sorry. That was unnecessarily confusing. I was thinking to myself, why would you specify in parentheses that his name was Nicholas instead of just calling him Nicholas Waldron? I guess they wanted to put a personal spin on it, but he wrote for the paper, so his byline was probably Nicholas. And moving on. Passed away in a tragic car accident. He will be set to rest tomorrow at Heaven's Gate Cemetery before his family, friends, and co-workers share a drink at the Coal Miners' Haven to honor the memory of a dearly departed friend. Longtime readers will no doubt recognize his name, as there have been days when it was the byline of over half the articles littering this plucky paper. Nick was loved by his family and colleagues and is survived by his daughter Joan and his ex-wife Kathy, continued on page 3. I like the fact that they gave him a full page spread. I'm a little bit Wait, is it 9 degrees Fahrenheit? Okay, I don't know what that means. It's like 9 degrees Celsius and then / Fahrenheit. I don't know what that means. Oh, and it's... Wow, it's 2018. I'm putting together all the pieces here. I like the fact that they gave Nick a full-page spread. I am less a fan of all the missing commas in family, friends, and coworkers. There should be a comma after friends. Oxford comma. Oh, sorry, that's just that. Okay.
Must have been a hard issue to write.
Journal updated. Okay, so here's Walter. My old boss at the paper. I'd say he taught me everything I know, but given my track record, that wouldn't be much of a compliment. I always thought Walter was the decent sort, the rare breed who truly believes his job is to serve the community. Seeing the old Joker was nicer than I'd expected. And Nick, you don't often make it to the front page of a paper with good news, not even in Basswood. Car crash. Walter did a good job on the obituary.
Ugh, I'm not ready for this.
And I'm just going to pause for just a second. I did want to make sure... Yeah, everything looks good. We're going to keep going.
Ugh, I'm not ready for this. Here we go.
Especially within episode 1, sometimes it's good to just peek in on the recorder just to make sure that there's no error messages, odd behaviors. Like now, for example. Okay. It wasn't animating. I was like, oh no. Did we crash?
Mr. Samuel Higgs, big shot investigative reporter.
Didn't think you'd ever be back in here.
I'd gladly slash your tires, but that mean you couldn't leave town. And you are leaving town right after this, right? As if you aren't, well, Nick's memory only goes so far.
I did choose that. It did not time out, although it was getting bigger.
That's what I thought.
Come on, it ain't worth it. Making friends already, I see.
Declan, been a while.
Hey, careful. I'd rather not be working tonight. And you always seem to angry up everyone's blood.
He started it. He didn't start anything. I walked away from it. Just here for Nick leaving as soon as I can. Boy, I don't like either X or A, but A seems a little bit less rude.
I'm only here to pay my respects to Nick. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, shame that. You watch yourself.
Here's the thing, just a quick thought. It's a wake. Sam didn't even go to the funeral, okay? He's coming in late to a community of people that he, like, just walked out on, and apparently there was a lot of bad blood, enough that this total rando that's sitting at the bar is getting up in his face about it. He needs to walk away. He cannot make his grand arrival back here in Basswood and immediately be getting into fights with people who have been here the whole time.
It's time I go put up a photo at the memorial board. That's what people do, right?
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave Declan there to talk with that fellow. I assume that person's a miner. Like one who mines. Just based on the clues that we've been picking up about the mine having closed, and it really feels like Sam might have written an article that led to that. Something about a train crash, because those were all things that we saw in his mine palace.
It's supposedly the spirit of coal. Doesn't really belong here anymore.
I didn't know you read Dickens.
He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee.
Not really. You just quoted him a couple of times and I thought it sounded good.
Oh. Alcohols from all over the country. Ethan likes to show off.
It's a masterpiece, plain and simple.
There's the back door. No one allowed back there but Ethan. There must be a storeroom, though. That doesn't go directly out into the back alley.
Walter can be overwhelming at times, but he means well.
So, I had to throw them all out on their ear, and only then did I realize.
Ah, Samuel, my favorite ex-muckracker. Join us, join us.
How was the funeral?
Wasn't there. Setting up for this.
Everyone came, most of the town, it felt like. A sea of sad, wet eyes. I gave the eulogy. Felt hollow. So hollow. He worked for me for years. For years, my best reporter. What do you even say about him?
He loved people, sharing things, having fun together. Take video games. He didn't even care if it was some cooking game or shooting game or what, as long as we were playing together.
I always prefer my games analog. Chess, Go. You two did seem to bond over them, though.
It's the small things. Like he always kept his window down. Said cars made him claustrophobic. That's how he stays with us. The little details.
I remember the bar bets about that safe spot at Pac-Man. He got me one night.
Yeah, got me once too. Can't believe it's real.
Enough about Nicholas, enough. Tell me, how have you been, Sam? How have you really been?
Wait, I want to hear more about the safe spot in Pac-Man. I don't feel that's a thing, but I could be wrong. Okay, I'll tell you what, Joan. Here's the thing that I'm picking up about Sam. He is above all else honest.
I spend all day doing nothing. I don't even count days. They just blur together. Nick's death barely hit me. It was like a pinprick compared to just everything.
Time heals most wounds. Some it just makes worse. Sounds like you need something to pull you out of your rut.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your gents' time.
Go, mingle, circulate, but you must join us for an actual round later. You must.
Oh, no. Okay. A drink later, maybe, or Nick's death did it seem odd. We just promised June we were going to ask around about it. Here's the thing. Normally, I would want to ask about this over the drinks, like after whatever the wake, remembrances have been, and people are sort of like settling in, and let's toast to Nick. Maybe pull this guy aside, but I may not have that opportunity, and I promise June.
Oh, Walter, can I ask you something?
Joan.
Questions are the fountainhead of knowledge.
Nick's crash. Was there anything suspicious about it?
I asked myself the same thing. The very same thing. It did seem odd. Young Nicholas, a careful man in all things, including driving. I looked into it myself. You know what I found?
What?
A tragic accident with nothing amiss. I am both relieved and saddened to say.
Ah.
Life is rarely like a crime thriller, and while I don't mind you asking, some might find it a distasteful conversation at a man's memorial. Especially from you.
I'll, keep that in mind.
See that you do, my boy. See that you do.
Oh boy. Walter with the clapback.
Walter can be overwhelming at times.
Oh.
But he means well.
He does mean well. He just told you to like stick it in a sack. Okay, hold on. Nah, he's we'll interrupt Declan and the bar patron soon.
Sammy, oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, Have you met Hugh? He took over the old pharmacy just after you left.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
What was her name? Tara? That was a lot all at once. What was even the question? Something about an article. Sorry, to go into a wake and have somebody conversationally and chipperly say he burned alive, you know, to someone that you would assume she knows was Nick's best friend up until a couple years ago. Sorry, I need to move past Tara. Give me a second here. It did take a lot of research.
It took reading thousands of public records, but a pattern emerged of willful negligence.
You are a bulldog. A dangerous man to anyone using power to exploit others.
That's nice of you to say.
Oh, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Wow. Just... Tara doesn't... Maybe things are just different here. That seemed like a real lack of social awareness. Nick's wake barely made it inside the bar, but things have already taken a strange turn. Joan is obsessed with the idea that her father's death wasn't an accident. Obsessed? I guess she has questions. She wants me to investigate. I can't get it out of my head. It's as if a long dormant part of me has been awakened. Okay, let's... Oh, we've met a lot of new people. Let's start at the left. Ethan. A small-town bartender who listens more than he talks. Ethan's bar must be the only prosperous business in Basswood. Oh, this is the dude at the bar. Joel Lopez. All the miners in Basswood lost their jobs when the mines closed. I know better than to provoke them. I feel like I provoked them just by walking inside. Here's Declan Stevenson. Declan's the local law enforcement. I vaguely remember him from school. He used to get into fights a lot, usually to protect smaller kids. No one was surprised that he became a cop. With Walter, what you see is what you get. His grief for Nick is sincere. In that last conversation with him, I actually felt differently than that. That Walter has untapped depths where, like, he was like, oh no, actually I did look into his death, and by the way, you should probably shut up. Like that, he handled that with some sensitivity that wouldn't necessarily... He seems very, very forthcoming, and then he does something that's a little bit subtle, like, hey, you should probably not be asking about this right now. It's not going to be taken well. Tara Petersdorf. Tara, or Tara, I think they said Tara, is the office administrator at Basswood Jungle, the proverbial weird coworker. She likes everyone and everything. Dinosaurs, romance novels, evangelical TV, conspiracy theories, rice cookies, unusual street names, you name it, she talked about it for hours. I may have never heard before this moment of rice cookies. Rice patties, yes. Hugh is new in town, but it seems like he knows how to fit in. Then again, as the town pharmacist, fitting in is part of his job. Still, it's decent of him to have come to Nick's wake. Welcome from miners. I ignored the miner who tried to pick a fight with me at the pub. Okay. Oh, down at the bottom it says friend stats. That is... Okay, so those are the percentages for this scene. I hope we get a summary at some point as well. Oh, hey Declan. I'm gonna say hi to Joan as well, but...
Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else.
So, Sam, how's life been treating you?
Sorry, A. Could be better. Nick's dead. Same as it treats everyone, Declan.
The same way it treats everyone. Some days are better than others.
Yeah, that's pretty optimistic, coming from you.
I try.
You staying in town long?
Not really. Why? You think I'm gonna disturb the peace or something?
Huh. Wouldn't be your first time. Have a nice evening, Sam. You always did know how to start a ruckus. Can't say I missed that.
Literally have done nothing. There's no ruckus here, sir.
You'd think a kid at a bar would stand out more.
Everyone here seemed to really like my dad.
Of course they did, Bug.
Everyone's nice in that creepy way. It's weird. Even Anna's weird.
Is Anna here? Okay, X is weird because it suddenly turns the topic to Sam and his interests. Your dad was a good guy sounds like exactly what Joan was just saying about people being nice in a weird way or whatever. So
It's a thing adults do. They say what they think they're supposed to say.
They all just say the same thing in this weird voice.
Yeah, you just had a tragedy voice. It drives everyone bonkers.
So why do people do it?
I honestly don't know.
Do you ever just watch people?
It's pretty much all I do.
Me too. But I don't always like what I see.
I'm gonna go back to my phone now, so chat is over. Got some recycling symbols, and then there's a couple. Basswood mine breaks ground, set to open in the fall. Oh, that's an old article then. Distribution of marks suggests strong intoxication for the average player.
Some people can play this game drunk. Anna was best at 3 beers.
Warning for drunk customers, doubt they read it. Oh, we don't get a read option on this. If you must vomit, splatter, please find the linoleum platter, parentheses toilet. It should not be this hard. Blech. A Basswood landmark is changing hands by... Okay, well, hold on. If his byline was Nick Waldron, why would you put in parentheses? I don't know why I'm caught on this, but, like, you could either call him Nicholas, parentheses, Nick Waldron, or just Nick Waldron, or just Nicholas. But to do Nick, parentheses, Nicholas, when that wasn't even his byline, that's weird. Walter's kind of a weird writer, I have to say. Anyway... Longtime bartender Ethan Morrow will be taking over the Coal Miners Haven from current owner Carl Edwards. The Coal Miners Haven has been one of Basswood's only bars since Prohibition, when it started as a speakeasy. Ethan had this to say about the change. Nothing's going to change much. The place feels like home for a lot of folks here. I don't want to change that. Wow, 3 instances of the word change in the one paragraph. 2 of them were in a quote. Okay, I need to let go of the writing. I need to. He plans to keep Edward's collection of decorations and hopes to add to it as the years go on. Ethan had this to say about the handover, about the purchase, of the acquisition, of the adjustment. So many other options than to have change, nothing's going to change, I don't want to change that. Moving on. A Look at Basswood, the Bar You Forgot to Remember, by Walter Dotson. It is easy to forget the places that make our hometown feel familiar. The Coal Miners Haven is one such place. The owner, Ethan Morrow, has made sure to stay true to the establishment's name by littering the walls with all the brave workers Basswood has seen over the years. Ethan may not have reached the skies yet, but he remains optimistic. Things aren't easy, but thankfully people still think they can beat me at darts. Give it a chance when you walk by. The prices are fair, the beer cold, and Ethan remembers the name of every customer. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, maybe you, watching this, can do that. I would love to be able to, like, have that kind of memory for names. The pay attracted a lot of people back then. We cannot take a closer look at the photos. Up above the Appalachian Herald, the West Virginian Miracle, Basswood's mine keeps punching above its weight. Oh, those are pool cues. Billiard table, slightly short back corner leg gives an advantage to regulars. This does not appear to be interactive, and neither do these people. Okay, that's the memorial.
Should I have brought flowers? Do people expect me to?
The drum kit is used by garage bands. Ethan tries to support the local scene. Wouldn't it be horrifying if there was an interact button there and Sam could just start, like, not even playing well, just banging on the drums? Nick always had the high score.
Nick and I spent so much money on this machine.
Sam really loves Pac-Man. Oh, holy shit! Did it say Mind Palace before? Because I was calling it a Mind Palace earlier in this scene. I was just... You know what I was thinking? I was just thinking of, like, the memory warehouse from the movie Dreamcatchers. And... Wow, Mind Palace for real. Okay.
Can't believe this whole thing's still working.
This feels like such an odd way to visualize somebody remembering things. Like, in a way that it feels very specific to Sam as a character. There's no spoken dialogue here. Just so you guys don't feel like you're missing something. This is him remembering the music and the touch of her hand and going up to the dance floor, but no actual dialogue. He was apparently just tuning Anna completely out.
But when the lights are out, it's time for me to show you.
It's interesting that in these scenes, like, he's wearing something different, but so far she's only been shown in this one sort of purple outfit.
So, Daddy, 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 sit yourself down.
Maybe she just really... I mean, the color looks great on her. It's just maybe she was particular to this one specific outfit.
I thought it was 4,000.
That's what crooked promises want you to.
Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work ethic.
Bess?
Pretty courageous of him to try his luck in Basswood, given the state of things.
They know you're from out of town if you call it Basswood.
That's where Nick and I sat every time he dragged me out for drinks after work. Old-timers in general already don't like me, and the article just made it worse.
Hey, Sam, why don't you drink to Nick on the other side of the bar?
Fair enough. Oh, hey, Tara.
I've never known Tara to not take over a conversation.
So tragic, what happened to Nick. The details are horrible. They think he didn't die on impact. Instead, he roasted to death. Not enough to damage the bones, but, you know, not a pretty sight. Unless you're into that kind of thing, of course. I didn't mean to be rude, Sam.
Oh, boy. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, you're not being very appropriate. But, again, it's a... Here's the thing. If we were tight with Tara, you might pull her aside and say, listen, the graphic details of somebody's death are maybe not the thing to be sharing at the wake, but we are at the wake and we are not particularly welcome here by a bunch of people. So maybe not, like, tossing out a lot of judgment is the way to go.
It's all right, Tara. I don't like the sight of dead, burned people.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't want to be rude on a day like this. Poor Sam. Now that Nick is gone, everyone in town hates you. I mean, I don't. Why would I? It's not my job you destroyed. You're not the cause of all my problems. I mean, that's what you did for pretty much all of Basswood, but not to me. So, I don't hate you.
Thanks for the confidence booster, Tara. I'll see you around.
Oh my god, she's awful. And like in the best way. Wow. Oh my goodness, Tara. There is such a thing as an unexpressed thought. I like, here's my new commitment. From now on, we're giving it to Tara straight. She's a truth teller, and we can tell some truth right back to her.
Nick was the good sort. Sometimes the good sort die like the bad sort. It's not fair.
Wow.
I've never known Tara to not take over a conversation.
Yeah, like, I'm just appreciating some of the details, like Tara has like sort of an animal print top, and then her purse is an animal print, but it's not the exact same one. It just sort of like matches thematically, and the way that the strap is sort of like kind of loose over the table. There's a lot of attention to detail here, which I'm enjoying. Okay, let's go talk to Kathy. Wait, I haven't seen Anna anywhere. Did you guys? No. Okay. I feel like we've made the rotation, so.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard.
Right, Kathy with the old truck. Joan. If I call her June, guys, I don't know where that's coming from. You know specifically where it's coming from? Because her nickname is Bug, so I'm thinking June Bug, but she's actually Joan Bug.
Kathy,
Sam, you actually came.
My condolences.
I know you two haven't been together for a long time, but I'm still sorry.
We hadn't been close in years, but he was my daughter's father. I'll miss him. Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Here's the thing about B. Joan has either already confided in her mother about her suspicions about Nick's death, in which case she already knows, or she hasn't, in which case it would not be appropriate for Sam to say it, so...
Hard to make promises. I don't do well with those in Joan.
I've noticed.
But I'll try.
Sam, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Photo. Sure, Mind Palace it, man. Let's hit it. Oh, that's the stage. I kept thinking, like, wait, what part of the bar is, like, up a little bit? But it's the stage where we saw, like, the drum set and stuff.
You're a lot like Pac-Man, Sam.
I consume everything in my path?
You find every last bite. The mine closing wasn't your fault. Your investigation just hurried things up. You probably saved some lives, you know.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Muley.
You piece of...
Language.
Is that a wedding ring?
I didn't know you were thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's just... It feels like the right thing to do.
Dad, what's the point of getting married?
Well, it's just one of those things people do, Bug. Here, you can play.
Someone has to show you grown-ups. Video games are the realm of the young.
Have you talked to Anna about this?
That's kind of the point. I'll talk to her about it when I show her the ring.
If you say so. Hey, Just remember I'm here, right? If you need anything. Anything but my arcade secrets. Those I'll take to the grave.
It's interesting that Joan
Sorry
doesn't...
we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy.
Interesting that Joan doesn't look any different in the flashback. Like, were this live action, I might think, okay, well, like, to hire a different actress that kind of looks like the primary actress just for the one scene, you know, that's a lot of effort. Here, it's probably actually more effort because they'd have to like animate and rig up that like picture of like young Joan there into like a full character model, but also like you don't have to like find another actress that looks enough. You can just make a character model. It's just, I can imagine technically why they wouldn't have wanted to like create an entire other Joan for a short scene. But it still feels a little bit weird when he arrived and was like, oh, you've gotten taller. And then we see her like from before Sam left, and like, no, she looks exactly the same.
Those two were a great team.
Nick and Kathy. Hold on.
Look at us. He was more her best friend than a dad. I wonder who took that picture.
Is Sam himself in this picture? Is that him sort of bottom row in the white shirt in the middle? So I would bet not. That's probably actually Nick. Yeah, of the people, that's probably Nick.
This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face. Happier times. Bug was so small back then. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend.
That's a weird N for remembering Nick. All right, I feel like we've seen everything. Some of them I couldn't click on until we worked our way around, but now we've seen them all. Yep.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Basswood. Not after you went careening out of town like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me, Dennis, who did you have a standing bet with?
Myself. So I guess I also won.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Oh, this guy sucks. Better be nice to me. I'm packing. LOL. I'm just kidding. I'm probably not going to shoot you. Oh, shit. I don't know what I want to say to this asshole now.
If you must know, I still haven't bounced back from when Anna and I broke up.
I think you mentioned she broke up with you. Yeah, but I hear you. Yeah, that's how I ended up in this shit town. Chasing a woman. Yeah, then she left and I got stuck here with 2 kids. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
'tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
I never know if it's at all distracting if I reference something like mechanical, but I like that because it sounded really nice, but also like it wasn't like a studio recording. Like the singer, who I assume is the actress, felt emotional, and that started to creep into her voice, and then it sort of ended abruptly. That was well done. Nick's wake has barely started, and I've already had some uncomfortable conversations, but the most awkward one is yet to come, the one I'm about to have with Anna for the first time in 2 years. Also, again, mechanical, but I like the fact that Anna is wearing something different, just like Sam is, than they are in the flashbacks. Pay homage to Nick, talk to Anna, and attend the wake. Oh, we've got some more. Oh, Dennis. Boo, Dennis. Dennis is the IT guy at the paper I used to work for. I remember him as a bitter and mean-spirited guy, a loner with not many friends in Basswood. So am I, but it doesn't mean we're kindred spirits. Tara has no filter. Yes, agreed. She'd make a terrible spy or serial killer. Or maybe an excellent one. And then Kathy. Whoops. Kathy and Nick married young and divorced quickly. I'm not sure she's ever really liked me, though I was their daughter's godfather, or maybe that just made things worse. So did she keep the name? Wasn't Nick's last name Waldron as well? And that's fine if she did. Like, sometimes you get that onto a whole bunch of legal documents and it's a real pain in the ass to change back.
Could you give us a moment, Sam?
Yeah. Joan, this song was very affecting for Joan, as we saw.
Has it really been 2 years since I saw her? She hasn't changed a bit. Anna?
Sam!
Hug her back. Let it happen. That's one of his options.
I've missed you. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
Okay. Let's choose the one that's not going to cause unnecessary drama.
Well, I'm here now. I'll have to try and come by more often. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? Even if not everyone around here would like it.
People around here have short tempers.
And long memories.
But most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. It doesn't make it easier, though.
It's gotta make it a little easier. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Yeah. That's, you two must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
B is too forward. I know that we promised Joan that we were going to look into it, but B is too much. Too much based on what she just said at the wake. No.
It's hard for me to really just wrap my head around it. Nick being gone.
Smart. Don't rock the boat when the person in the boat just lost a loved one.
It's big. I can't get my head around it either. His stuff is all over my house, but he's just missing. Things without an owner. Most of it I'll probably give to Joan and Kathy, throw away. I don't even know. Sam, I'm tired, and if I'm gonna drink and cry, I wanna do it alone. I played that stupid song like I told myself I would. He said, or he used to say, it made him ache. I did it, and I'm going home. We need to catch up, though. Let's meet for coffee tomorrow and talk. Really talk. 9:30?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be at the cafe across from the paper. Christina's. It was honestly nice seeing you.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or 3. And then I'll go.
That was an odd way to express things where Anna said, Nick and I moved in together, and then a beat later says, his things are all over my house. You would expect that this soon after, like, whenever he died, figure maybe a week ago, probably time to recover the body, prepare it for burial, do whatever investigation might have been done, schedule the funeral, and now we're at the wake. For her to be thinking of it's not a complaint, it's just interesting that I would have expected her to say, his stuff is all over our place. Like, because he's still very much present in that space, and the absence of him is being felt so acutely. I get all the rest of it. It's his stuff is all over my house.
People leave you or they die. That's the only way anything ends.
Dennis is a real pill. Drown your sorrows with Walter. Seeing Anna again threw me for a loop, so much that I didn't even ask her about the circumstances of Nick's death. But afterwards, I get the feeling that was for the better. Yeah, like, it's too much. It's too much right now. We're meeting her tomorrow for dinner, for coffee, rather. That's when we cover that. Okay, so this was no longer marked as new, and yet it is. Anna and Nick talk about cliches. The moment I left Basswood, my best friend and my ex get together. I don't know how to take this, but in a strange way, it's also the thing we have in common, and is the only person who knows what it feels like to have lost Nick. Okay, we got that. All right. I feel like Sam has a real martyr thing going on.
Walter can be overwhelming at times, but he means well.
Do you think we can talk to Joan at all since the song?
You'd think a kid at a bar would stand out more.
No. Okay. Let's drown our sorrows with Walter.
So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel, join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Oh, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there, with a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
Well, by himself with his laptop as his date.
He never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He had things I didn't. Sounds a little bit too... It sounds like it might be like weirdly envious. He was a good dad mostly. That's sort of damning with faint praise.
He was always good with Joan, though Kathy did the heavy lifting. Took her to school, fed her, clothed her, and Nick would pick her up. Play dad for a few hours. Mostly she'd just sit in the office drawing. He'd drop her back off with her mom after dinner.
Greater men have done far less by their daughters. The friend of man, the friend of truth, the friend of age, and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed, few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Oh, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
I'm trying to put together, like, elements as we go. Like, Ethan the bartender knows poetry, and Nick always kept the window open in his car because cars made him claustrophobic. And I'm trying to think of, like, some of the other things that I've sort of, like, swirled away in my head, like these little details about people. People sure liked him.
Everyone liked him. I think even Dennis liked him somewhat.
He always had a lot of friends. A few who couldn't make it sent flowers.
How's the family taking it?
Joan and Kathy seem shaken. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who can prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
It always seemed so easy for him. Every day he'd show up, smile, no matter what.
Of the qualities in a good man, that one deserves to be at the top.
Not a quality I possess.
This isn't a place for self-pity. This is a place for dour reflection.
Yes, and drinking.
To Nick, he was my friend. He will be missed, but not forgotten.
Hear, hear.
Put that down. Kathy, what's your underage child doing drinking? You have no control over her? Ethan could lose his
I wasn't
license.
doing anything. Don't touch me.
The fuck is
Joan.
this?
Leave me alone. Ugh, you guys are all so stupid.
You do not talk to people that way. I'm sorry, everyone. She's just so...
That was quite heavy-handed. I hope the little one doesn't take it to heart.
Hold on, doesn't take it to heart that a full-grown police officer grabs her by the arm and shoves her away from the bar? What do we think Joan is? 14? Maybe? Like, it just... That was so unnecessarily rough. Hey, cut it out. You can't have that. Like I didn't get the sense that Joan was particularly fighting back. She wasn't striking the officer. Sorry, that was It was way unnecessarily forceful. Okay, sorry. That's just really weird for a cop to grab a kid by the arm and, like, shove them away from the bar that way.
Declan sure came at her with both barrels. Joan's tough, though. She'll be okay.
Can I also shoot her the text, though? But he always leaves that one little swallow at the bottom. It's all this backwash.
What a night! I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if the years didn't smooth their animosity as much as I hoped.
Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea.
You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh?
Hey, I didn't ask for you to be here. To come back.
I couldn't let you miss this.
You just showed up.
You can't see it now, but the guilt would have eaten you alive. You're back out in the world. Feeling emotions, fitting in, that's progress.
Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable.
Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid. No promises.
All right, and with the end of this scene as soon as possible here, yeah, we're going to pause it here, and we're going to try to keep these episodes to about an hour apiece. This one ran a little bit long, I think primarily because of the premiere. So generally speaking, we'll aim at about an hour and be continuing on a full playthrough through the wonderful world of Twin Mirror. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.